Well, there we are. Saturday morning live with Johnny Boy. I apologise for my lateness, but there is a reasonable excuse for it. Basically, the guys at the woods where they do all the logging, the forestry decided to sort of block us in, so we are a bit late this morning. But we're here and we're live. It's Saturday morning live with Johnny Boy. Thank you all for joining, and thanks for tuning in yet again. What hopes to be a good podcast. If not an excellent one, a good podcast. Massive thanks to John Ward for the message of support this morning and advice on what we could be talking about and suggestions. Rob Fry, good morning. It's about time, Rob. Where are you? Where have you been? I do apologise. No, it's not you, Rob. It's me, and thanks for the light this morning. I'm going to see if I can get the live stream up, Rob. And Rob, while you're there, I just entitled the live stream. We've got 5 live viewers, got 1 like. Join us. Styled, good morning. From Exmoor, they're down in Exmoor. Good to see you down there. Matt, where was you the other day? Where were you the other day when you was on the train? I don't know where you were going. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. You see the title this morning. I've put "The Fight Is On." Well, it is on, isn't it? And this is where. Good morning, Henry Flint. How's it going, bud? Yeah, this is where I think the feedback we're having on social media, on the news channels, mainstream media, and all those news channels is that the fight is on now, innit? This is where it begins. I have been working away never the place, mate, all over the place. Well, I know where you're going. Hey, listen, when you're joining the live stream this morning, let me know where you're from and where have you been and what you're doing. I want to know. It's about you. It's not about me. We got 2 likes, got eight viewers, I think it is. I'm going to try and get the live stream up now because I can actually see as and when people tune in. Let me just mute that now in a moment, but I can actually see what people are talking about on there. There we go. And we're here. Brickright Justin, Brickright Landscaping. Good morning, John, with the live. Got to go tip, so can't listen in. No problem at all, Justin, but many thanks for tuning in. Great chat to you the other day and talking about all sorts of things Justin and I were, and hopefully some things were resolved, not between us, but with things that we were talking about, things that need to be resolved, things that need to be resolved in life. We just can't let them go by and just sit on it, can we? Just can't do it. We need to resolve things, and they seem to be, Steve, good morning, they seem to be resolving things at the moment, or are they in the politics? They're not resolving them in the Far East, not in the Far, in the Ukraine, where it all seems to be going down out there. There seems to be as if they're in a crucial point at the moment, and a frightening time. I think if there ever was a fight, the fight is on there. And you know, it's really embarrassing when you actually think about what's going on in this country. All right, massively embarrassing. All that political wrangling, not knowing where they are, not knowing whether they're a Tory or not a Tory, whether they know what will happen if the Labour Party goes in. They won't know whether they're a militant or left wing or right wing. It just seems to be totally all mixed up at the moment. And you're going to say to yourself, why am I talking politics this morning? I'm talking politics because it's what's affecting us on a daily basis, day in, day out. When we get up, we turn the news on, turn the radio on, whether you do that or not. We've spoke about this before. Yeah, mate, same cheeks, different owl. Gonna say it. Single same to politicians, that is. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. Politicians, those leaders, apparently the leaders, but nobody seems to be leading the country at the moment. I think the WRVS would probably do a little bit better. That's the Women's Royal Voluntary Service. I think they would do a lot better than them. Not that I'm actually having a go at the WRVS, but they're not necessarily the people to run the country, but I think they would do a better job than those politicians at the morning. Yvonne, good morning there from Cardiff. I'm going to have a sip of my tea because I really need this morning. I'm running late this morning, and that happens all the time. There we are. Just to let you know, I have got a little bit of a cold this morning. Got a little bit of snivels. I had a journey this week to Belgium, and what an inspiring journey it was. I met some, we use this word regular, don't we? Inspiring on a regular basis. You see it all over social media. And really, what is inspiring, eh? That's the thing about it. It gets used, words get used all too often, and it's almost like giving medals away. But yeah, without a doubt, I met a lot of people out there with Ruby Tools, and I met a guy called Bert, and I'm not kidding you. he was worth his weight in gold. I mean, he was absolutely mind-blowing with his passion and his drive. And it wasn't necessarily because he needed the money. He just loved life. And that's what he was doing. Rob Fry says, I've just purchased some timber for 20 foot by 5 foot long fence. And the price was a thumbs up. The Posi Fix was the most expensive this year. Rob, that Post Fix rather, yeah, the Post Fix was the most expensive. I said Posi Fix, that's my eyesight, isn't it, again? Have you tried Max Reet, the company called Max Reet? Their product is more or less the same price, but half the weight, same volume, half the weight. It's just the science behind it. And do you believe in that science? Do you know, I actually forgot what I was talking about there, so I seem to be drivelling on about all sorts of things. But listen, welcome to Saturday Morning Live, 5:40 with VAT. I pay Postfix, says Sick of Lies. This is how it works. You've got Rob Fry down here, down this way, wherever Rob is now at the moment, I can't remember. And then you've got Sick of Lies there, Steve there, telling us it's a 5:40. But we were talking about the fight is on. That's what I'm going to try and focus on this morning. The fight is on. You know, like I said, John Ward is here at the moment, and welcome, John Ward. Thanks for joining this morning. Many thanks for the advice this morning and the little message that you actually sent me. Yeah, the fight is on for all of us, John. You know, whether you are a consumer or a contractor or even a manufacturer or supplier, the fight is on, isn't it? Now we have to start digging in. Christmas is coming. People's got to hold off a little bit towards Christmas. Then after Christmas, I think that's it. They ain't going to spend at all. You've seen that actually the spend across the country has gone down. And when you think of the house prices, do you know, this is a landscaping channel, isn't it? And people are going to say, why are we talking about lands? Why are we talking about what's going on when this is a landscaping channel? But the fact is, it affects all of us, doesn't it? It affects all of us and what we do. So we have to talk about it. There's no ifs and buts. The requests, the people. Rob, I knew you were from Sheffield. I just wanted a little bit of a little push there and trying to remember where you're from up there in Sheffield. Might be in Newport near Christmas time for a job. You're not coming down this way, Rob. I'm not going to have it. Not going to put it up there. No, is there plenty of work out there for everyone at the moment? Hit like, the likes button, says Steve. Absolutely, this one's about hit the like buttons, guys. It's Saturday morning with Johnny Boy, and we're talking about the fight. The fight is on. I really think the way it's gone, it's almost like the infrastructure, the economy is this is what they're telling us. This is where it's starting to happen now, and it's a great shame, isn't it? You know, that we have to go for this, and people whose mortgages have actually gone through the roof are going to struggle without a doubt. And what do they do? What do you do at times of crisis? What you do, you dig in. That's what you do, just like they're doing in the Ukraine, but in a different way. You know, we dig in and we start making those savings, and we start cutting things out. Because I think, if I was honest with you, John, I was talking to John Ward this morning through Messenger, I think we've had it too good for such a long time, haven't we? When you actually think about it, man has survived for thousands of years, and we didn't need the electric all those years ago. We over-consume. That's how we dig in, and that's how we fight, by recognising the realities of where we are at this present time in man, in the ecology of man, and where we are. You know, when we think, even now, I've got two lights showing the live stream. Should I turn one of the lights off? Let me just see if that makes a difference. Tell me if it makes there, right? Just say that's on a battery anyway, but you still got to buy it. Dig in and cut the cloth, as they say. There we are. That's how we say it. Dig in and cut the cloth accordingly. That's what we need to do everywhere. And sometimes there's expenditure that is just far too much. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I got told off the other night for leaving a light on in the hallway all night, and I did. I forgot all about it, and it's not a good thing, is it? You know, we need to save, don't we? We're too extravagant in what we do on a day-to-day basis. So has the fight begun? Yes, it has. And what we need to do is to start fighting back, and what we can do is start saving costs. Morning, lads, says John Ward. What are you doing to preserve your work and promoting your business? There we are. This is what we're talking about. Touch upon about the things that you can do around your household to actually make the difference, to actually get in the fight and make a difference to you yourself, to actually, you know, make those cuts, and you can make those savings. But there we are. John Ward is saying, what are you doing to preserve your work and promoting your business? I was only talking to a contractor Mario, good morning. How's it going, bud? Good to see Mario on here. He always brings a smile to my face. Let me have a little drink at the moment. Steve says my wife is one of the coldest people in the UK, and she put the eating on once. Brilliant, top notch is with us now. All my work is word by mouth. Is it still coming in, top notch? I want to know if it is. It still coming in? That's what John asks. Is what you doing to keep yourself going? I open up the old fires. Open up the old fires. Yeah, that's what a lot of people do. And you see the copious amounts of wood and log suppliers across the country along the road. When you're driving around, you'll see people selling those logs, and people are thinking about having fires put in. I don't know. Is it mad what we're going through at the moment? How do we cope with this? But I think we're all in a bit of a panic. Some of us are. We're panicking about the economy, and rightly so in some cases. But can somebody, they say it's an average £500 a month is on the mortgages that it's going to be going up. Can we make those savings over a month? That's 130 odd pound a week that we have to think about where we can save. And I suggest that for some people, not all, for some people, they can make those savings. Any of you guys going to Futurescapes in Essex? Go to Futurescapes. I know I said Essex for. Yeah, I'm not going. I think for me, Mario, I think in the UK, when I actually see these shows, I think they have absolutely died at the death. And I think the size of Futurescapes is what you find is because it's so big, it doesn't seem to seem as if it has the footfall of people that attend, and it creates an atmosphere of desolate areas that there's no one on, and people are waiting for footfall to go by. I will not be going. I don't think I'll be going. My house is like the center of the sun. Lies, you're choosing or the wife, John. You're choosing or the wife, John. Yeah, you know, when you think about it, right? Look, so many things we're talking about this morning. That's what we do because we're listening to what people say. Thank you for joining Saturday Morning Live. It is not, and I might add, sponsored or supported by anybody at the moment. But if you want to sponsor or support this live stream, you can. And what we can do, anything that you donate as a supplier and a manufacturer, we can donate back to a worthy cause. So if you've got any ideas of a worthy cause, let's do it. Not my doing, haha, I get warm sitting around a match. John, it's because you've got a warm personality. But John talked about is what we can do as contractors to keep ourselves busy. Do you know, it would be interesting to hear of consumers now this morning to see what they actually think about contractors and what they're doing to actually get themselves out there. As a consumer, what are you doing to look for your contractor? Are you looking just on Google or any of those social media platforms? And as I was saying, I was talking to a contractor only a little while ago, and he said that it was dying off. The work, the inquiries was dying off. It was going downhill. And I actually said to him, I said, what do you actually do to actually promote? He said, well, I do a little bit on social media. And I said, what do you do on social media? And he said, well, I did a post last month or 6 weeks ago, and I was just absolutely dumbfounded. And I said, you need to do one in the morning, one in midday, and one at night time. You need to do at least 3 a day to make yourself relevant to the people that are actually looking for contractors. And believe you me, the bright side of all this, during adverse conditions, people will profit from periods like this. And as a result of that, there will be disposable income. It's just where you put yourself to find that disposable income. I just woke up, JB, but I'm here and now, boys. Oh, good to see you, bud. Same as mate, all them years working outside. Yeah, it is. It is working outside. But you know, we had a tile floor put in this house a couple of years ago, and it's absolutely freezing. It's a new house, and it doesn't retain the heat. It's really annoying. John says, I can see it all now, lads. Customers accepting low prices, then regretting it, or accepting lower standards because of it. Yes, absolutely. I think they probably think, John, some of those consumers out there probably think that they can actually get away with it. They actually think that they can actually hold people down and tie them down and sort of put the noose around the neck and squeeze it on them to get the best price. But believe you me, a good price and a cheap price is not good. A good price isn't cheap, and a cheap job isn't good at all. A cheap price isn't good at all. So just remember those words, and don't say you heard it here because you've heard it all before. Let me just drink this tea at the moment because I have got a bit of a bad throat at the moment. Oh my God, don't you like a cup of tea? I'll tell you a funny story this week. I was sat around their table in a restaurant in Belgium, and they were all having coffee and a little cognac or whatever they were doing after. I just wanted a cup of tea, and then they decided to bring me some tea. They said it was all grey, but I think they forgot the tea the tea leaves in there. And then they brought me the milk, and it was the milk that you put in coffee, the cream. And then when they did bring me some milk, it was hot milk, so it was a complete disaster. And all of them were sat round the table, and it was almost watching this ritual that was rolling out in front of them. The ritual rolling out in front of them of me making a cup of tea. It was quite funny and quite bizarre, and I could see they was all watching intently. So that was a quite surreal moment. It was quite funny. I wish there was a fly on the wall you could see. Just reading what people say there. John Wood says, I can see it now, lads. Customers accepting lower prices, then regretting it, or accepting lower standards because of it. It's going to happen, and it's happening now, and it's never going to stop. Customers do go for lower standard, lower price, cheaper prices, and it's not always a good thing, because they end up paying twice, and if they don't, they end up sitting on that project for many, many years to come, and it doesn't get resolved whatsoever. John Wood says, I found a disposable income in my wife's purse. Amazing, really. I'm on a budget. She ain't, lol. Do you know, that is so funny. Morning, Lewis. How's it going, bud? Up there, up the north. Good to see Lewis on here. Thanks for joining this morning. It's Saturday Morning Live with Johnny Boy. And I said that I entitled the live stream this morning, The Fight Is On, because you can tell with the mainstream media the other day when they were saying, it's like they know, don't they? They know what's being said behind the scenes. When they talked about Liz Truss, dare I mention her name again? They talked about Liz Truss, and they said it looks like she'd be going sooner than what they thought, and she went. It's as simple as that. She went, and it was gone. And now they're saying the fight is on. That's what everybody seems to be reporting on, and then we're going to have to start digging in now. But one thing that we can say, it's been, and thank God for it, it's been remarkably mild in the last this last month, these last few weeks. It's been really, really mild. We've had a couple of cold nights, but it has been mild in the day. The sun has been shining, so the light is shining on us. It's going to help us to get us through. Maybe, do you know, I wonder how many of you actually believe that people are actually making savings now because they are not using as much of the energy, the copious amount of energy that we're using for. How many of you actually believe that we are making savings at the moment in some way? And we could have done it before, okay? And we could have invested that money in some way. It's ridiculous, isn't it? We're just so flamboyant in what we use on a regular basis, and we're so irresponsible, I think. And John, we spoke this morning through Messenger, and we talked about what we can do to actually put ourselves in a good place. We really need to start using social media in a certain way. Okay, if any of you are actually watching this morning or later on need any advice on how to use your social media, I am always available to talk to. Just drop us an email. Okay, you can drop the email to info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk. And believe you me, when I say this, I only talk about things that I know about. And one thing I know about is how to make a noise and how to get the attention, whether it's in the right way or the wrong way. It creates a bit of a stir in the landscaping community and the greater community. I'm here, I'm available, I'm able to help you to process social media and actually get you more work, which will put you in a good place and steady the ship within your household. If we can start steadying the ship in our own household and our community, then we can steady the ship and be calm throughout the UK. We've got 22 live viewers. We've only got 9 likes. Come on, hit the like button. Please hit the like button. It's great for the algorithms. Let's see if we can get up to 10 or 11. Style says, tougher times certainly coming. Interest rates are the game changer. Yeah, they are the game changer. But isn't it the case? I think I was talking to Matt this morning. Matt, really, with the interest rates, isn't it that we've sort of had it so good for such a long time, so good, and you find the marketplace is spiking, or it's spiked for years, and now we want steady, nice, even growth. The only people that benefit from these initial spikes are the people at the top, I think. I think so. I don't know. Am I saying the right thing? Mary Ritchie says, thanks for the delivery boys. Now finish the job. There you are, Matt. Thanks for the delivery boys. Now finish the job. We want to see some pictures of that. And as per usual, I always say to you guys, during the live stream or after the live stream, send me some pictures on WhatsApp. I want to see those pictures. You've got my number. My number is, in case you haven't got it, is 07795 595 and 994. If you need that number, is, let me see if I can get it down on here as we speak now. I ain't going to rush this morning. You may feel that 07795 595 994. I haven't got my glasses on. It's always an excuse. Just check that number there. There it is now. As per usual, I had loads of pictures last week. Fortunately, I never had none of Mario and his wife friend sat in the living room, but I want to see some pictures. Your favourite picture this week. Send me a picture. I might be able to send something out to you and show you my appreciation for supporting the channel. Matt, he says, thanks for the... Mario says, thanks, Matt. The delivery boys finished the job. We want to see that. Style, my pleasure, Mario. That's the way you deal with customer service. My pleasure. Steve Sick Alive says, most of Europe drink black tea. They don't have it like us. No, they don't. I don't mind, actually, black tea. Black tea's good. I had ginger and honey this week. Oh, my God, that was really hot. That ginger is, I mean, I think it did me the world of good, to be honest. Sweet black tea, shouldn't put milk in it, apparently. No, you shouldn't. I like sweet black tea. It is good. I do enjoy it. I'll be honest with you, John, I never even had a beer last night, so I'm going to start reducing that because I don't feel as if I'm needing it. Sometimes I just have a beer because, not because I'm sociable, because it's keeping me awake. Booze and alcohol is basically a stimulant. It's okay to have a beer now and again. There we are. I probably need a drink now. My throat. Look, we're talking about all sorts of things this morning because it's what you'll give me back on the live stream this morning. Morning, John. Grant from GM Landscapes and Design. Grant there over in Thornbury. Grant actually had a ticket this week over in the services because he was there too long, parked up, and he didn't pay his way. And that, I don't know if he's going to pay that or not. Have you had, any of you guys had any experience about parking charges when you're in the services or anywhere as that matter? This is not just a landscape channel, it is a community channel talking to you, the landscapers and the consumer. I think, do you know, John, what I was actually thinking about, there's these people that's going around at the moment, and rightly so, when bad work is not good, it needs to be exposed. But I think sometimes you can get mediators. If you are a consumer that has had a problem with your contractor and you need some help, I'm here to mediate, okay? I'd love the challenge of being able to go to a consumer and trying to mediate with a landscaper to get something resolved. You can talk about things you can resolve. I don't know what you think, but do you think things are beyond saving sometimes? Can you actually pull it back with a contractor when things go downhill? Grant says, nice way to put it. Did you get yours as well? I don't know yet. Alison will soon tell me, Grant, if we do have a ticket. Mario says, some clients' coffee is disgusting. It is. It is. Mario, just be careful because some may be watching this live stream this morning. It is disgusting. I mean, some of it is really, really bad, and you need to say a little less of this, a little less of that. My customers this week make absolutely fantastic coffee. Great working with Steve and Roz. I hope they don't mind me mentioning them this morning, but thank you very much for your understanding in with me going away. And it's great because we were able to feel relaxed. And that was one thing I was saying, John, if you're still on here now this morning, is that when you have a situation like where I did this week, where I had to go away, I did let them know, I think, before I started the job. And then I said to them, I'm going away, and they were absolutely fine about it. You know, we don't need to lie and make excuses because we're not turning up for one reason or another. So what we need to do is just be honest with our clients and preempt that possibly you're going away for the day or you're having the day off, and these things do happen. There's nothing wrong with that. We got Nicholas McCartney's joined us this morning here from Banbury. Nicholas McCartney gardening. Morning, John. Nick in Banbury, Oxfordshire. Only just got a bit of a tiring day. Yes, only got up just a bit of a tiring day yesterday, Nick. Sorry we didn't speak because I was absolutely shattered myself yesterday. I come back and absolutely fell asleep on the settee after a shower. Of course, John Ward said, communication, look at his work and ethics, and contractors choose cheap choose wrong. There we are. He said it again. Yvonne, who's a consumer there in Cardiff, who's had a bad experience. I was excused a parking fee fine once because I'm just going to stop now at the moment. I love having Yvonne on here now. She's a consumer, and again, this is how the podcast works. She's not just talking about landscaping, and I love it, Yvonne. Thank you very much. God bless you. And I'll read what she said. She said, I was excused a parking fine once because the university gave me an out-of-date permit, but not before I was threatened with a debt collectors. Yeah. Do you know, sometimes the stress that it causes is just to pay it, but that's what they do. Lewis says that some customers buy half a spoon sugar, double strength, then put 2 in. Yeah, I know, it's incredible, isn't it? I'm even actually ask you, how do you like your coffee or your tea? Listen, we're not being ungrateful now because the winter is coming, and we are grateful for anything that you anything hot and warm that you want to pass through the window or through the door, in tea or coffee, I mean, or some porridge would be nice. I've had some great customers over the years that have actually invited me in the house to have some food, and absolutely wonderful. And, it's great. I just love it. It's absolutely fantastic. Look, we got 23 live viewers, all right? Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant to have you on here. Well, Saturday Morning Live. We're talking about all sorts of things this morning. Whether it helps you, whether you don't, it's here to help if you need it. So if you want to drop me an email, info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk, I will have a look at it and get back to you as soon as possible. And remember, please send me a picture of WhatsApp of what you've been doing this week or what you're doing today. Fresh Air Landscapes Outdoor Living, morning mate. Fresh Air Landscapes Outdoor Living. Brother, I was wondering what your thoughts are. I am looking for a machine like a Ruby wet saw when laying natural stone, etc. Indian sandstone, limestone, not just porcelain. Well, you need to contact me. You need to contact me because I am absolutely fed up, right, of suppliers. There, I got the first one coming in this morning. That's off John. John sent us a picture this morning. And listen, send me a picture. Drop me a picture on WhatsApp. My number's on there. If you scroll back, you can have a look. Fresh Air Landscapes. If you are looking for a Ruby, I've got just the product for you. And I would be more than happy to talk you through it. If any of you are looking for Ruby products, I want to help you. I've gone to Ruby and I've been able to open an account up. So if you need it, we're going to try and get you at a better rate, okay? A better rate than what you would get anywhere else. 22 live viewers, 13 likes. Get on there. John Ward says, parking attendants are invisible by me. They are restuck with drones. Never see them. Sneaky buggers. Really? With the drones? GM Landscapes, just send one in and have a look at that after. John Ward, send a picture in. Let me see what you're doing. John Ward, drones. RC, coffee must be organic as it's the most sprayed food on earth. Is that right? The most, I suppose it is, isn't it? Like, it has to be organic. Well, can you recommend an organic coffee? If any of you like coffee this morning, tell us what the organic coffee is. I want to see what it is because I do like a nice cup of coffee. Isn't it the case? Have you seen all on social media where these people are going on diets and they're having coffee and lemon and something else in it and they're losing weight, and probably because they're just having the coffee. I want to know what the coffee is. I make gorgeous porridge, Caribbean style. Yvonne, I'm coming down this week. We're going to have, and I got to come and see you, and we're going to have some Caribbean style. Yvonne, I got to tell you this. My mate Richie took me into the church in Peel many, many years ago, and the ladies were cooking Caribbean curried goat, and it was absolutely gorgeous. The Caribbean food is absolutely second to none. I mean, the jerk chicken, and I tell you something now, the taste of it, there's so much taste in it, the spices, absolutely fantastic. And if you want to do me some porridge, I'm more than happy to come down. Mick has just sent a picture in from Tipperary. Mick, many thanks for that. Mick Lyons, big shout to Mick, great supporter of the channel, great supporter for you guys as the community as well. So send me a picture. Mick, many thanks. I've just remembered Mick and Tipperary. Hope you're doing well, bud. It'd be good, it'd be nice to put a face to some of you guys sometimes. If you're sending the pictures in, let's have a picture as well. Might be Dr. Eric Berg gives some more detail on the subject. Sounds expensive, says Steve. What, the coffee? The coffee? But how much coffee do you probably drink loads of coffee, Steve? Fresh Landscapes Outdoor, love that. We'll call you, mate. Thank you, no problem at all. You may not necessarily, they've got a 350 at the moment. We'll cut absolutely everything. It will cut absolutely everything. And I can get you one. The thing is, you have to order these tools, all right? Because not everybody's old in stock, because that's what they're doing. Grant this week, all right? Grant, this, I was just going to say, not everybody's old in stock because they're placing the orders. But Grant over there in GM Landscapes, over there in Thornbury, he actually ordered all his paving and held the price on it before it actually went up. Are the prices going up or are they going down? I want to know a few. We want to know. We want to share what's going on. There's just loads of comments coming in this morning. Sounds expensive. Dr. Berg gives some more. I'm going to have a look on that. Maybe you can send me a link on YouTube to see Dr. Berg. Ruby are the best at customer service and great products. Such a good company. They are. I'll tell you something that became apparent as soon as I arrived in Belgium. I can tell you something now. The reception I received was excellent. But I'll tell you now, all of them, Roy, Julio, the two girls that I can't remember their names now, Najir, and there was Roy and Julio, Bert, and then there's Engbert, of course. Engbert, the guy who's in charge of Ruby Benelux, as they call them, Belgium, Holland, and Luxembourg. It was so interesting. And their take on social media, their take also on building a culture. And the good thing about it, I'll tell you something, watching Bert go to work, it reminded me when I was a young man or a young kid working on the marketplace, people believed in, they stopped, they listened. And the fact is, John Ward, is that what we need to do to survive and the fight and what we do to get more work, we need to make a noise. And that's what Bert was doing. And the thing is, it wasn't just making a hollow noise, it was making a noise with meaning, because he was actually, without a doubt, had all these people engaged and they stopped and they listened. That's how you use social media. That's how you get yourself more work. And it has to be consistent and concise in what you're delivering. And then Lars, who's a local contractor, they have this organization out there where the organization is totally independent. I met 2 engineers and they got other engineers working for them and architects, and they set standards, okay, and advice they give to government, right, on how things should be, okay. It was massively interesting. And one of the engineers, she actually talked about compressive strengths, the importance of compressive strengths, and what we're putting in mortars is just sometimes too much what we're putting in mortars. And that's what she found. We need to keep it simple. We need to fine tune it again and keep the mortars simple in what we're doing. And you know that I always use semi-dried mixes. Yvonne, what is Caribbean style porridge? Matt wants to know what it is now, Yvonne. Just to let you know there, Matt Williams, he's the former CEO of Top Tiles, you'll know that name, and now he runs a paving company in Banbury called Star, along with some great colleagues down there, and they're a great company to work with. Fresh Air Landscapes deleted and retracted his message. Don't know what's going on there. Have a good day. Keep up all the good work, JB. No problem, sick of lies. Agree with you. Well, I'm just reading what everybody's saying now. We're just going through this now. I've fallen behind. GM Landscapes design. Timber will be coming down January due to building trade slowing down. Yeah, it will come down. And it's about time too. You know, why can't they have it nice and steady and fair, isn't it? Why can't it be fair in what the prices should be? Why are they inflated? Because they want the quick buck, okay? You're going to get it here, no, you're not with me. It's going to be a nice, fair, average price. I'm laughing about the porridge and Caribbean food, folks. Yvonne, we want to know all about it. Yvonne, this morning, you have my number. Drop me a message on WhatsApp. I want to see that porridge. I want to know about some Caribbean style food. I know it's absolutely great, and it's about time I had a little bit more. And I want to know a little bit more about the food and what's healthy. It's amazing this podcast this morning is drifted away from the fight and what we're doing to actually, well, we can actually make savings on food, can't we? There's ways that we can hit back and we can fight back by making sure that we actually prepare our food for the week, and we can keep it simple and we can be organized. You know, it's amazing. My son at 22 years of age, he's been doing it for years. On a Sunday night, He'll go to the gym on the Sunday, and he'll come back and prepare all his food for the rest of the week. And it's absolutely amazing what he does. He's just on the ball with it. And I got to say, not because he's my son, just because he is on the ball. And he's just decided to take that. It's not necessarily me. I'm not that well organised because I've got an Alison. And Alison is my wife, and she's absolutely fantastic in everything she does. Ruby blades are best for porcelain. Well, yeah, we got Henry on here, but you got to think about your blades. Do you know, Mario, right? You need to speak to me because this week, by Engbert, who's the MD of Benelux, Ruby Benelux, he showed me how to sharpen a diamond tip blade up. I don't know if any of you actually know how to sharpen a diamond tip blade up and to get more from it. Well, I've seen it this week. I'm going to speak to Engbert again, and I'm going to ask him to do a little video and send it to me, and I'm going to share it to you guys maybe midweek and share it on social media. Remember, you can help by supporting this channel by donating £1,000 every hour. No, I'm only joking. You can help to support this channel by sharing these videos and anything else that you actually see upon anything else that you actually see on social media, right, that you can actually share. It'd be absolutely great that I'm actually doing and get this channel out here. Ruby showed the Style Trade Show. Ruby showed mine at Style Trade Show, says Lewis. Now I am interested. Yes, yeah. Show you. There we are. My signal's playing up. Sorry, no problem at all. Yvonne, that's absolutely fine. John Ward says, Ruby, nice stuff and great customer care, but the leaders in the market, so I would expect no less. Yeah, John, let me just clarify something there. You are absolutely right. They are leaders in the market, but I got to say, and they know that I'll say this, they've got to up their game. There's lots of other products coming out there on the marketplace, so they have to up their game in every way of getting their products out there. And I think if like anyone, if you really want to sort of make sure that your company comes through the other end stronger, all right, you need to work hard. And sales reps across the country representing everyone has to have a really conscientious effort and push, okay? It's just like a member of your staff. They represent us, so we've got to make sure that we're seen as doing things in the right way. John, I'd be interested to know, would you ever compromise the job because of price? If you was given a price to somebody, would you compromise on price? Because I won't. I'd rather sweep the roads and go and earn a living and not value myself. If somebody didn't value me, I wouldn't just want the job. There's no way I would come down on price whatsoever. Look, it's been an absolute great live stream this morning. I don't think I can go for an hour this morning because I am feeling it, but I'm here. I want to hear off you. I want to hear what's going on, and I want to tell you all about what I've been doing. And the funniest thing about it, it's probably the best way to actually share with people, to actually get your stuff out there, as I said, is on social media with a short video and pictures. I'm having lots of pictures coming in this morning of where people are and what they're doing. And it's good to see you on here. And thank you very much for joining this morning. I'm going to say it many, many times again because I really, really appreciate it. These live streams are never, ever going to come to an end. They won't. As long as I'm still walking, as long as I'm still going, I'm still going to do it. Using a blend of spices and add the extra something makes all of the difference. Don't give your recipe away, Yvonne. We'll have you on Dragon's Den a little bit like Lever Wrights before long, and you can have your own porridge, your own blend of porridge out there on the shelves in Sainsbury's and Tesco's and Asda and even Marks and Spencer's and Waitrose. You just never know. You've got to live it and know. Signal not great. Look, no worries, Yvonne. It's absolutely fine. Look, thank you all for joining this morning. I'm going to speak to Nicholas McCartney at some point later on because I'm going to put a proposal to him. Grow your own is the food, the answer. Yeah, absolutely. Make use of your social media. Make use of all your food. Try and be efficient in everything you do. I met a landscaper this week, Tyler, called Lars, and I tell you something now, his attention to detail was second to none. It was mind-blowing. And even his van, everything was in its place. It was just extraordinary. And it was all about efficiency for him. And even cutting some of his fabrics, he had a machine there where he rolled out, could see the measurement and just cut it across. Then he'd label them. He'd go back and be ready for the next day. How many of you guys get ready the night before? Lewis has just sent a picture. Thanks, Lou. I'm going to have a look at that after. Thanks very much. No rude photos, whoever you are. WhatsApp. Well, look, 19 pictures actually come in this morning. John Ward says, when I first started, yes, I had to, but never. And I often say when the customer questions my price sarcastically, is it not enough? Yes, I like that, John. And what I always say, I like what John says. John said when the customer asks him, when the customer questions the price sarcastically, he says, is that not enough? Well, I normally say, it's not my fault. It's the profit that makes it expensive. The profit makes it expensive. And that's what we've got to think about. It is the profit. The profit is important. Everything that you do in life should be valued. Time, our time, your time, everybody's time is priceless. So you need to keep yourself of some value. Value yourself and you'll value your customer. Make sure that whatever you do, make sure that you value yourself. You need to, okay? It's a must. I've said it so many times, okay? You need to value yourself, and then we'll keep the community in a good place. The community will come out the other end being stronger, and the community being the landscaping community and what we're supplying to the consumer, okay? And then we soon start sending a clear message out there. We need to send that clear message, and so the consumer can actually start to understand that we value ourselves. And then before long, it will start trending. That's how trends happen, when we start valuing ourselves, when we start talking about things, okay? You can make a trend. Your trend should be the value of yourself and the valuation of your landscaper. Certainly, you won't be valuing your consumer if you start making things too cheap, okay? And they'll see right through it. It needs to be a fair quote, and it needs to be treated fair, okay? There are many ways that you can actually generate confidence and put safeguards in place, okay? You can put safeguards in place to generate trade out there right now. Consumers will look at those safeguards that you want to put in place. I'm happy to talk to any of you about those safeguards, okay? There are plenty of safeguards that the consumer will value, that will look at that and say, this is the person that I want to do the job for me. So if any of you want to talk to me at any point about any of these, about the safeguards, I'm more than happy to talk about it. It's so difficult to talk about everything on these live streams this morning. You can see this morning we've bounced around from one conversation to another, because that's what people do when we're in a social gathering, in a restaurant, in a pub, in a coffee shop, even standing on site. It doesn't matter where we are, talking over the garden fence to the neighbour. We talk about all sorts of things. We bounce around. That's what human beings do. This is not a corporate podcast this morning, and it never will be. Corporate's good in certain situations, but certainly not on a podcast. 16 likes this morning, 15 people still with it at the moment, and we're fast approaching the 50-minute mark. Bear with me for a second. Yvonne says goodbye. Thank you, Yvonne, for joining us this morning. Mario Ritchie, big thumbs up. He's a great guy. I love our Mario, and he's such a great. I love to spend the day with him as long as he buys me a breakfast. Grant says, have a good day, John, and positive weekend for all. I am off to take my mum for lunch with the kids. Well, good for you, mate. And say hello to your mum and give her a big kiss from me. John Wood says, I often hear we like your work and standards, but not the price. I say you can't have one without the other. There we are. There's a man with principle there, John Ward. He says, I say you can't have one without another. Absolutely love it. Absolutely fantastic. Is that, or is that not the way to actually deal with your customer, isn't it? To be firm and to be honest. Don't be a yes man, okay? You can say no, even in tough times. And that's how we survive. That's how we survive, without a doubt. That's where the fight back begins now. We need to start valuing ourselves. I've said it again. Lewis says, have a good weekend, John, and you, Bird. I hope you're out enjoying yourself in the sun. Make the most of it. It's amazing. We got sun in October. Maybe it will go into November. They say a storm's coming in tomorrow, but I'm not sure. There's a big storm there now. We're in it. And we will come out the other side if we stay together, stick together, and work together. Fresh Air Landscape says, outdoor living. Do you agree for the last or for at least the first 3 years, you should invest most of your profit back into your company, whether if it be advertising or tools. That's a difficult one to say. Every individual is always different, but I think investment is good. When I actually seen what Lars is doing out there, and he had a machine for absolutely everything. He invested everything, and but what we got to try and do, you can invest in everything, in all your tools, but you need to be efficient with those tools that you're using. You need to value those tools, and you need to use them at the right time. You see so many times that people buy tools and never use it. I've got a digger out there, okay, paid a lot of money for it, and what I need to do, I need to advertise that digger is available. I know I'm going to be going over and helping Grant soon, but that digger is available. If you need a digger, okay, if you're local, or even if you're across the country somewhere and you need some experienced person, digger driver, to come in and help you with your project at a price, it's got to be at a price. You just can't travel across the country, but that digger is available. And if you want somebody competent to drive a machine, I'm your man. Been driving diggers since I was about 14 years of age, probably even younger, so I can do it. And I've done my tickets as well before. I've sent you a few pics of a job we completed earlier this year. Good to see. I love having these pictures, and it's great to see. Mario says van sign written is best advert and cheapest. Yeah, there you go. We said it so many times. This is what this community is about. Mario comes straight up with it. Get your van sign written. My van's not sign written. I'm okay. Do I say I'm okay? Do I take it for granted? No, I don't. Never. I'm on it all the time. Don't just text. Don't send those messages on WhatsApp. Don't even, you can email, you can do all that because it's all about accountability. Pick the phone up. People love to talk. And as the old BT advert said, it's good to talk. Let's bring it back. It's good to talk. So important. I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it now. I'm going to touch upon a little bit of the mental health. Mental health is important. Don't struggle. Don't be alone, because this is what this community and this channel is here for. There are plenty of people on here that you can reach out to. I am not a professional, but what I can do is I can point you in the right direction when it comes to mental health. But I'm here to listen. I'm here to support. It may just be enough if you need it. If you need that, you can drop me an email, info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk, or you can actually drop me a message on my phone, which is 07795 595 994. We'll put it on there now, 07795 595 994. There we are. I know it helps. And so many people tell me, thanks very much, John, for the support. I'm here to help. Just talk to me. Lewis says, I used to drive a digger on jobs, but then found it was more cost effective for me to have someone come in and use a digger. There you go. That's how it's done. I need to make sure that I start using that digger, Lewis, because it's a big investment. Okay, well over £20,000 for a digger. I need to make it work. I was going to change the van, but I'm not going to change the van now because I think the van's absolutely fine. It's no good spending if you don't need to. If you've earned a big profit and you want to reduce your tax bill next year, you need to invest. Okay, you need to invest. Capital investment is good at certain times, but you need to speak to your accountant, and they are the professionals in this field. John Ward says, we hire because I had £20,000 digger sat for 8 months in working time out of 12 not being used and maintenance, but I drive one. Yeah, that's nothing wrong with hiring. That's how it works for John. Corporation tax is going up, lads. Be wary. Yeah, be aware of corporation tax is going up. Is it fair, John? Or do we have to pay our dues? All this thing about tax on a regular basis, we see it day in, day out, don't we? What's good for one is not good for another, and what's good for another is not good for one. We see it all the time. Somebody's going to be without. That's what happens. Lewis says, oh yeah, I just hired one, which was only £50 less than getting someone in. So it was a no-brainer for me. Yeah, it is. It is a no-brainer. And what sort of digger was it, Lewis? I want to see what sort of digger it was. 17 likes this morning. Never asked for it. Absolutely fantastic. If we can get it to 20 likes just before you go, I'd appreciate it. I've absolutely enjoyed the live stream this morning. I feel a little bit under the weather, but what we've done this morning, we've been able to help each other out and talk about topics of conversation in a variety of conversations that we never thought that we'd even be doing this morning. We've talked about absolutely everything, even Caribbean porridge. Absolutely brilliant. That's what it's about. That's what happens with communities. We don't have to talk about the landscaping. We just talk here because we're friends, we're a community, and we talk to each other, and it helps. It helps to support. A lot of people love coming on the podcast on Saturday morning because they look forward to it, because we are creatures of habits. We like routine. Saturday Morning Live with Johnny Boy is a routine. This is where we bring everybody together. I wonder how many of you are actually having a coffee or a tea or a piece of toast this morning. I've had a bacon sandwich very, very quickly. I washed up as well. John Wood says about the corporation tax, that be aware. Thank you, John, for that. Really appreciate it. Lewis says, oh yeah, I want to said that. Top notch. Hi, John. I was in Italy last week. They charge £600 per day just for a digger. What? They charge £600 a day for a digger, a 1.6 ton, and you need to collect it yourself. Is that self-drive? That is absolutely incredible. Do you know, I might go out there for a week with my digger and start charging like $550 or $400, Take your digger out there, spend a couple of months, Listen, top notch. If you've got any contacts, I'd spend my winter in Italy. John Ward says, well, in theory, it's not our money, but I've earned it for the government, so now it's new vans all round. It's new vans all round. There we are. And that's what he's doing. He's investing back into the business rather than giving it back in tax. Love it. Top notch says, mafia, mate. Yeah, love it. Wow, that's crazy prices. Isn't it mad when we come on here and you guys start sharing things and the reactions to it, mafia, yeah. It is, that's huge amounts. Absolutely incredible. Well, look, guys, that's it. It's the end of the live stream this morning. I know I'm going to go into a fit of coughing in a moment. I've got lots of things to do. Got to have a shower. Got to get out. Got to see my son. I haven't seen him all week. Very briefly last night, I tell a lie. I have spoke to him on the phone. He's a pain in the ass for me sometimes. He just winds me up. He is his dad all over. Thank you all for participating this morning. Thank you, John Ward, for all this message. Thank everyone. Lewis, Top Notch, Steve, Grant, all of you. Thank you for joining. Yvonne, Matt at Styled. Don't forget mine. Go to Styled website if you are looking for paving. Just check out what they've actually got there. And Lee, we're done, mate. We're going. We're well over the 50-minute mark. Good morning, Lee. Lee Andy there from Liverpool. Good to see you, bud. Porridge for me, says Mario. There was a local guy with a small digger. It charges 70 European an hour. Yeah, it's not a lot, is it, really, when you think about the machine? You've got to do a lot of hours to get your money back with that. But I might just put my digger out for hire, whether it'd be worth it or not. But they get me as well, so it's a bonus. And the digger I've got is I'll be able to stay nice and dry. So we have got a job very soon coming up for that, so I'll be able to use it for that. So it's that balance, John, isn't it, about how much that you're going to use the digger for in the course of the year. How long are you going to use that digger for? And I think if you use it for over 6 months of the year, then it's over 50%, then it's absolutely fine. I've got a digger. His name is Anthony. Oh my God, I love you, Mario. Absolutely brilliant. His name is Anthony. Why don't you call him Anthony? Have you got his name on the back, Brilliant. Absolutely love it. Look, guys, that's it. It's over. I just got to finish on Mario's little comment there. Lol, Mario. Yeah. Hey, Lewis, he's a star, isn't he? He's an absolute... Mario, are you actually sat with your wife friends this morning? We want to know. We don't want to see it. But are you sat in your wife friends this morning? What a sight. He's a cracking guy. I hope you've had your breakfast this morning. Thank you all for joining. Don't forget to drop me an email, info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk. I'm sorry if I wasn't coherent at some point this morning. It's just like full of cold. But thanks for joining nevertheless. Good to see you. Have a great weekend. Be safe and just be kind. If you can't say anything nice at all, just don't say it. Be lucky. See you soon. All the best.